Where? Prove it.
I've been in a bunch of stuff, but I'll show you why.
152.
1-5 Tizu.
Is that good?
Probably. I don't know. What made me mad, and I think I showed this to you before, is Liev Schreiber was in American Gods playing the leprechaun. You read the book, correct?
I have, yes.
So he's playing the leprechaun, who's not looks like a traditional leprechaun. He's a normal-sized man. So they hired a guy named Pablo Schreiber to just play me, I think. Well, when I had hair.
That is rather spot on.
Yeah, look at this guy.
Yeah, right down to the
Just
whole
an arrogant, aggro, redheaded fuck.
weird wife beating.
I have a better
about
beard.
you.
A racist man.
I know. Like, look at that. That's just me when I get out of work most nights.
Oh yeah, the facial wounds and all this such things.
Yeah.
That's me going home on the bus at
John,
3
you look
Feeling successful about
pissed
your day.
off, brooding, covered in who knows what, mostly beer and somebody's blood.
Some of their
John
sort of
auditioned
liquid
for that
throats.
part and he didn't get it.
No,
So-
I didn't audition
Yeah.
for very much because I was a failed artist, and now I'm retired failed.
Now we're
artist.
doing podcasts.
Now it's called.
That's what we do.
Welcome to Hair of the Dog. I'm your host, Jonathan Wickholm. I am a world-renowned host of a world-renowned show. We are huge in Japan.
World-renowned.
We are moderately banned from Poland, and
Racist.
Hungary has threatened to murder
Build
me.
statues. Oh wait, sorry.
Bit of both, actually.
That's Finland.
Yeah, a lot of guys who got murdered get statues when you think about it.
So, would you like to be murdered?
Duh.
Should we discuss this off camera?
No, you should do it on camera. How you gonna do it, Moo?
How shall I murder thee?
Yes.
Slowly, but with structure.
slowly.
I mean,
Oh,
we don't want to.
yeah.
So if we're going to then
Please
rebuild your
don't
initial
murder
statue, we want to
me.
make sure that you're capable of being rebuilt upright, so that we can, affect the.
Oh, you're gonna
appropriate-
actually use my actual corpse for the statue?
Definitely.
Dude, I really like your style.
it's
Now
just
here's our
context.
guest. You know him, you love him, you secretly want to fuck him. His name is Samu Rahn.
rhymes.
Something like that. He was the first or the second guest of this new season.
He was the second.
Second
guest.
Were you burping while I asked you that?
Yeah, I was.
Yep.
I reckon it was technically first, but aired second.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
aired second.
Yes.
Math goes.
Yeah, Samu is an old friend of ours. When we brought back this tragic ass show that nobody watches, so I don't know why I'm here.
You can say whatever you want. Nobody's watching.
Exactly. I can.
Yeah.
That's why we're gonna say some really. No, we're not. We're gonna edit it out.
Say something very
Samu,
racist.
his episode he is on because, excuse me, he is a musician. He is a musician of many talents, but definitely errs to the side of metal. I would warrant to say that black and melodic black and doomish metal is more of your preferredness.
Equal opportunity destroyer.
Yes. He also likes to play the recorder for metal bands. It's confusing.
Fun fact. One of the first musical performances I ever happened into with grave disappointment, I was asked after coming back from some sort of sick leave when I was all of 7 years old, was said, "Hey, would you like to perform a recorder solo?" And I had no idea what a recorder
A recorder
was.
solo should not happen.
What's a
It should
recorder?
absolutely not
Recorder's
happen.
that
It should
little
be.
like plasticky flute thing you
I
get
want you
in
to tell the
school?
audience.
It's
I know what it is.
It is an instrument
I'm
of.
kidding. You
it
don't
is-
I forgot my
You don't
audience
have
is a
to do
bunch
that.
of
Yes.
morons.
It's an instrument of torture.
It truly is. It's the worst instrument of all time.
And I was utterly bereft of knowledge of what it was, and then was thrown into this moment of having to torture. And this is maybe
How does a bear reft?
this actually is a learning moment as well. Huh? That was the first. Yeah, public torture. Okay, there it is. Yeah,
Now we
recorder.
found the source material.
Recorder is now my favorite instrument. Find it on the next Terrordens record. There it is. Yeah, just
Terrordens.
all recorders all
So
the time.
speaking of, we'll get to that. So Samu, second episode, he's also he works for a beer distributor, which we will name, won't name. What do you think?
Whatever's clever.
All right, he works for Louis Glenn's distribution. They were if I'm correct, the first distributor in Chicago or Illinois area to bring in imports. Correct?
I wouldn't immediately go so far as to say that, but I would say that it has been generationally invested in that category for a long while, and is the oldest Schlitz distributor in the world.
That's the next one. Yeah.
And yes, that's
So yes,
who would not rest upon those laurels with great glory.
You are just you're a drug dealer that's legal.
I do sell drugs.
Also, when you think about it, you're just as bad as everyone's old weed dealer. I buy beer from you, and then you sit down and you want to consume it with me, and you rarely throw money at it.
But I give you free samples, so here's.
I'm not saying I'm
taste.
not benefiting. I'm just saying you're like my old weed dealers.
Is there context that's appropriate? For
You
this,
didn't
or
buy
just-
weed from people back in the day, did you?
Oh, never, ever, never
Yeah.
in my life. No, not once. No.
Not a weed guy.
And we're here as always because truly this show cannot exist without James.
Yep.
James Whalen.
That's right.
Everyone, round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here. I'm usually behind the cameras, but I'm in front of the camera now because I just have to, toe the line some more, I guess. You know, I gotta do
James,
some more
James
work.
wants to do more work. He's always unhappy with
Yeah.
how much I do for this show.
No, it's just the volume of his
Oh!
voice. That's
My bad. You can
That's
take that.
that's the problem. Does he do this in the recording studios? He talk too loud.
I'm okay. So let's get into that.
We're
real quick,
rolling.
and then, yes.
Are we recording
But
vocals?
also, literally,
Vocals.
my position in the band is to scream as high and as shrill or as goblin-y as I can come up with.
Goblin.
So yes, but the guy recording is used to recording metal musicians, so he's prepared. Whereas you're used to people talking at normal volumes, and then you met me.
Right.
Correct. So Samu, let's talk about it. Yeah, we're currently in a
Hi.
band, but I'm going to pretend like I don't know anything about this band. What's the name of this band?
Do you know actually anything about this band?
No, I don't know anything.
He's in the band. He doesn't know anything about the band.
I don't know anything about this show either.
Actually, I almost literally do not know anything about this show, so we're in good position.
Perfect.
It's called Hair of the Dog.
Hair of
It's
the
a
dog.
sidecar.
Dog-
Sidecar.
Side of the hair of this side. No, car of the dog.
That's what I was just going to say.
There it is.
Car of the dog.
That's the name of the band. No, the name of the band is called Terrordens, as in
Yes.
a den into which one enters where perhaps badgers dwell.
Terror.
And then you're
Terrifying
terrified because there are
badgers.
large, terrifying badgers.
Would you spell Terrordens as two words, as one might imagine?
A singular squish. So you've got the terror here.
Squish.
And then you've got
Dens.
the dens.
I'll put it on the
That's
screen.
The one
Yeah.
bit.
in post.
It's going to be right here.
Right.
The
There.
Denzel
Dens.
Washington.
Who guessed it on the album? Little known
Terror Den.
fact.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we've been saying
Does
that the
backup.
third
Monster bass player. Who knew?
We've been saying that the third vocalist is Trevor from Old Irving Brewing. It's
Yeah.
incorrect.
It's
It
just
is Denzel
it's
Washington.
Denzel Washington.
His stage name is the Bone Collector.
Fun fact: Denzel Washington and Trevor Rose Hamlin are anagrams. That's how we came up with this idea.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very true.
Good job.
But it is indeed a band that was formulated through just absolute nonsense
Yes.
brain, somewhere between Portland, Oregon, and Ashland. Was it Ashland? It was Ashland.
Yeah.
The land of
Oregon, as
like
we were
Pennsylvania.
on a smoko. That's a callback right there. As our car had decided to not function, and thus we were in the
Okay.
depths of the woods,
Yes.
consuming
3 feathers? 7 feathers? How many feathers?
three or four.
I think it was 3 feathers.
Several feathers.
If
Nah.
you don't get it right, it's racist.
That's not how that works.
Cut that part out. And
It's a truck stop
yeah.
in the middle of fucking nowhere that is native run, so it's on native land. So they told us that we weren't allowed to drink on that land, but since our car was broken down,
What else were we supposed to do?
fucking A, we're gonna drink on that
So
land.
we wandered into the forest,
Into
and
a
we dwelt there
homeless
for some
encampment.
time, and pondered upon what ought we do here at the end of all things. And we wielded Terrible, a Unibrewed Strong Dark Ale quad,
Because we are in a terrible moment right now.
quite. And then we
And
also
also,
wielded
not the most terrible moment of the trip.
not the most terrible moment of the trip. Yes, that's called forward. And then Garden Path from the Skagit Valley.
Fucking A, dude.
Oh,
Garden
excellent.
Path. If you haven't been, you should go. I don't care where you live. Go to Garden Path.
It is absolutely
it.
worth the trip. Ron Extract up yonder way, formerly
Used to
of
work with Jester
King,
King.
is doing brilliant, brilliant bits. So we wielded these things, and we eventually decided to make a terrible band. And here we
Yeah.
are, a year and a half later, with actually a record that's about to happen.
Yeah, we got a record that's about to drop. We got merch that we're about to buy. We're definitely not, it's funny that we're going to make merch and we're not even going to print the album on anything physical. But you know what? It's 2024, babe. Who's got time for that?
Nobody purchases physical music anymore.
Teenagers purchase Taylor Swift all the time in physical formats.
Then
Who's Taylor Swift?
What I'm saying
that
is...
actually is the best question.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think we
Is
need
she
to
a football
pivot.
player?
I
She plays football. Taylor Swift.
She rides a football player.
Oh,
At least I hope so for his sake. Or
it would,
do I?
It would be on brand.
I'll think about that more.
Yeah, we should do covers
about that.
of
Taylor Swift albums. Shake it off!
Shake it off.
Got it. Okay, next album. Yep. Already ratting it. Yeah. All right. It's there. It's there.
So what would you say, there's a lot of reasons the band came to be. It started as a stupid joke, and then the joke,
No, it's still a stupid joke.
it's still a stupid joke, was marred with all sorts of tragedies, and then I got so mad at the entire city of San Francisco that I tried to fistfight anyone that would come near me. Weirdly, no one in San Francisco was fazed by a crazy person threatening violence.
Wonder why.
So no one took me up on my offer.
Why would they?
Also, shout out to the San Francisco police for doing fucking nothing
They're
ever. Fuck you. Anyways, now we're back.
quite.
So, would you like to give us a preview of one of the songs from your band Terrordens?
Sure.
Make sure you just play it into the mic so it sounds fucking awful.
Well, I can also just add it in post. So
But
you don't. We can just talk about it.
Yeah, for the funsies.
And if it works, we'll leave it.
Maybe it's just the
Okay.
opening sort of little shrieky house situation.
I don't know how you did it. That's a stain blew my fucking mind.
A song
Can we
called
taste?
Crepir,
Yes.
which means to die horribly. And if that's
The only way to die.
if that's not a good opening scene for a metal album, I'm not sure what is. I would say.
Hell no.
And actually, no, this does bear some relevance upon the notion of what the record is how it takes ideas of literature and then deforms them. So this song was initiated as an homage, or rather reinterpretation of, well, actually, you should speak better of this in terms of the inspiration of the Metamorphosis.
Yes.
Die Verwandlung from Kafka. So whilst
Okay,
I'd figure this
Samu.
bit out, touch on that if you would.
So my background was in English literature and education. I was trying to be an English lit teacher.
Can you not?
Wrap your fucking head around that?
Yeah, he's so articulate. Yeah.
I like to speak on the same level as my kids, you know? So that way they feel that we're in tech. So I talk stupid, but I am not. I'm very stupid. So I'm not musically Actually, before we play, we have to note one thing. There are 3 people in this band. Only one of them can play instruments.
At all.
At fucking all.
Generally not well.
Me and the other one, Trevor, we had to spend quite a bit of time practicing vocally just so we could even be in part of the project that you asked us to be a part of, knowing that we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
That's part of the purpose. We want the terror to dwell inside the den, which is
Yes,
your heart, you know? And I don't know, you brought some notions to the fray, and it was creative in ways that I otherwise would not have suspected.
Interesting.
So, right, we'll throw some terrible sound at
Yeah.
you, and James,
Play some
in
terrible
his
sound.
wisdom, will edit it out later because it
Yeah.
just won't sound
But
perfect.
now we can do it. Whatever. Fuck it. Play that music.
All right, here we go. Yes.
This inhale is insane. This is
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Goes on for there for some time.
Yep.
Approximately 20 minutes. Anyway. That's a wee touch on our
Yeah, we
skin.
touch. So yeah, you, Samu,
Throw it on the floor.
throw it on the floor. It's in the fucking well.
It's in the well.
Samu, you played the guitar, the bass,
Correct.
keys. Is there anything I'm missing?
That, vocals.
And yeah.
Okay.
I can't do it very long. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's
Strong.
what happens.
Well played.
Actually, I've been practicing since you did. Like, I gotta figure this out.
Correct. Yeah, I can see you coming from you. That's good.
And then me and Trevor did vocals. I did more of I was attempting for like higher banshee screamies, and then I realized my vocal cords were not actually prepared in the moment. I've gotten better at it, so I kind of pivoted, and I describe it as more goblin-y, but it reminds me
Gablin. Gablin.
Gablin.
Gab.
But the reference was early Mayhem. The way he's
Demonstration Sopranos. Yes.
So I went with that because I couldn't push. And then by the second day, actually, I was able to lay down some fucking pretty gnarly. How would you describe Trevor's vocals?
Oh, if yours were gablin-y, his were giblin-y.
Gablin.
His were giblin-y. Yeah.
Ooh.
Then also some typo throwback kind of gothic enunciations, but with a very high level of elocution and he was rolling his
what I was
R's
gonna
in
say,
such a
yeah.
way
His
that
elocu-
was
I- 'cause it's not that
inspiring.
he's
It
not
was inspiring.
someone who speaks that way. He can speak very he can be very focused. He wants to, because when he's like describing beer or their process, whatever, he chooses his words very wisely. But the dictation, I'm just like,
Yes.
like, was,
It's
I didn't
fierce.
expect. It was awesome.
It was fierce. It was fierce. And it's I think was an outlet for him in a way that he's long been interested in and involved in through his engagement with music and
ICP.
ICP, just definitely whatever sort of drop in some reference there that I don't know what I'm
I hope
supposed
he
to say.
loves that I brought that up.
But yeah, brought some really inspired notions to the fray and was totally open to do whatever you feel, and he certainly did that.
Fucking A. Hey, well, that's basically the opportunity you gave both of us. You said this is what it is. You laid down early tracks for us to work with, and then you really didn't give much guidance unless we asked for it.
I would prefer you to follow the nest and have the sensation.
In terror.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I kind of harnessed, because I was terrified at first, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm terrified. Then I went, oh, fucking of course Samu did that. And then that's why I re-referenced back to my literature days. Like, I'm going to go with the books I know of terror, because this would give me my own comfort in writing lyrics. So I went with track 1 is based on Kafka's The Metamorphosis, which is truly subtle but absolutely terrifying if you really are grasping. And then I went with Moby Dick, which is quite overt. And good times. Read that book. You'll learn a lot of things about obscure shit that you don't need to know about. And then suddenly, fucking whales are killing shit.
And clam chowder.
And clam chowder. Fuck yeah, dude.
Clam chowder.
What was your favorite chowder on the West Coast?
Favorite chowder on the West Coast? It would probably have to be Siebel's out on whatever yonder far removed isle that was en route to Skagit Valley.
Skag.
There was a strong contender from the crab chowder, I reckon it was, which was
Crab chowder.
heftily.
chowder was shocking.
Yeah.
It was. So yeah, Siebel's.
Crab
Siebel's was
chowder.
one. You?
Seabolds is definitely the clear
Siebel's.
winner. But that place, like, we went. Sorry, I should be closer to a mic. I'm a professional. I'm in a fucking band.
You know how these things work.
Seabolds was far more of a just straight seafood joint, and not in like a part of town where there's lots of tourists.
There was no town.
No,
It was
yeah.
ein Dorf, ein kleines village. It was just the tiniest.
It just
little bit.
was. We do seafood, and everyone around here works in catching it, I think. And
I
it
would
was,
certainly hope so.
It was delicious.
The
All right.
corals.
Before we let James take the reins, sorry.
Take
Wings.
the wang.
Take
The wangs?
Golf
take
wang?
The wang.
Take the
Wait,
wang.
is this a Tyler reference?
No, I just wanted to be stupid.
It is not.
Because I like when James grabs me by the wang. So we're going to try. I'm stating it here on the show. This is no longer threats. This is now.
Newsflash.
This is just war.
News
This is
reel.
violence, and there will be nothing but.
Violence.
We do not drink Malort on this show anymore. I'm taking it away. I have reasons, but that would bring up my business outside of this, and I don't want to get into that. But Malort, you're dead to us. This is your fault. And if you'd like to see me
You
in
fucked
battle,
up.
you choose the weapons, I'll choose the time. We'll meet
Yeah.
in the middle, and I will skewer you so hard your children will feel it 3 generations from
Also,
now.
you screwed Peter Strom. So that's
Also,
from back in the day.
Strummy is the dude.
Yeah.
So now we're
Yeah.
going to drink Zabrovka.
Zabrovka.
Bison grass. It's a
Bison
vodka.
grass.
But it's with
Lemongrass.
a discussion. So, Samu, I want you to drink this and then describe to me what you get.
I get grass and I get bison and I get
Bison.
the flavor
It's really
of
sweet.
war.
Yep.
Clearly, yeah, it tastes of war.
There's actually a piece of grass,
Oh,
bison grass, in the bottle. The reason it's called bison grass is because they have to remove it from the butthole of the bison.
I do perceive a
bison
nuance
grass.
of anus. I would say, actually, this is remarkably floral and confectionery.
Right.
Yeah, there's a remarkable vanillin component to it.
Yep.
I wouldn't ideally want that from a vodka, right? It's supposed to be flavorless, odorless, tasteless.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't like villains either.
this has a
Never see Die Hard.
That is the
this
best fucking villain. What are you
too
talking
far
about?
away from Christmas to be discussing Christmas films.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But no, this has a
like
very
peppermint.
interesting confectionery tone.
It's strange, right?
Without being too sweet.
Yep.
I
It
can see
tastes
this-
like, obviously, confectionery, we know what I'm talking about. But it tastes just like the frosting on a fucking cupcake,
Quite.
but without being excessively cloyingly sweet.
And we know, here's a topical reference, it would make a delightfully good espresso martini.
Oh, absolutely.
Very
Where
very
are
popular
our
right
espresso
now?
martinis, for the record?
Where do we have? I didn't bring them. They're at the place of work I work at that I don't communicate about on
So
the show.
we need sponsors. Is what you're saying?
Let's go to the bar.
They do make a good espresso martini at Hexa Coffee. If you go
Yes.
down to Hexa Coffee, here's our sponsored segment.
Hexa
Let's
Coffee.
segue right into that.
I don't think they use Zabrowski
Yeah.
vodka.
No, but I'm going to start bringing it into the bar that I work at that I won't name. Hexa Coffee.
Hexa
They got
Coffee.
coffee. And they
They
got
got-
beer. And they
they
got
have
cocktails.
cocktails, they got
and they
beer.
have an owner who's just a cute little man.
They-
And then they have Scarlett. And she
His name
does
is
really cool
Margaret.
artwork. This is the artwork. Look at that. She's also cute, but I don't want to make it weird. And, you know, you can get draft beer. You can get canned beer. You have a brilliant patio. You can watch Gypsy Jazz. That's not offensive. That's what it's fucking called.
That's what it's called.
You can watch Elvis impersonators. You can see a bunch of motorcyclists, guys. You can do fundamentally anything except for anything that's illegal.
Yeah, they're open late till about
think.
7 p.m. Later than other coffee shops and lamos. All
You
that.
might be
So,
able to do some illegal things, but we'll leave that
Just
for
pitch it to
I've
Parker.
done illegal things there, but I won't get into it.
Margaret, their owner, would be the best person to tell us about this.
Margaret.
Margaret. Dear Margaret.
Dear Margaret. All right, James, I'm going to stop prattling on about nothing.
Stop prattling.
Tell us what we're going to get
Why
into
are we
today.
so-
Why are we here? Why am I here?
Because this
Why
is a
is
podcast, and
Samu
you're our
here?
number one guest. Everyone always
Well-
says when they see the show, they're like, can you get rid of Jon and just have Samu? And I'm like, that hurts my feelings. And then they don't apologize at all.
That they re-apologize?
They don't apologize.
Did they apologize to begin with?
No.
No. Okay.
I want 2 apologies, damn it.
Man,
Why do you keep calling me out on how I'm mixing up words? Because I'm trying to think of everything.
Probably because you're drinking vodka.
Zabrovka. It tastes like grass out of a bison's ass. And cupcakes.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a break right there.
Ah.
So, break time. All right, now we're back.
And you might say, like, oh, hey, that's weird. Why would you do that? Because his cock is huge and beautiful. Why wouldn't I look
It's
at
a
it?
big, huge cock.
Real quick, Steele anecdote, my favorite. He was on the Jerry Springer show, and they had him come on. So this man, if you're not familiar, you're an asshole. But if you're not familiar,
No, yes.
if you're not familiar, you're an asshole. He is built like a Viking that was also a professional swimmer. He's just wide as fuck in the shoulders, tapered like into the waist, but he's just
Waspish.
Tapered
waspish. And
waist.
he's 6'5"?
17.
Also, I should definitely make sure to have mics with shit on it because I keep into these mics for the future. And he comes on Jerry Springer. And the whole reason he's there is because he's a sex symbol at this point, and everyone in the crowd is screaming and gushing for him. And literally. And Jerry Springer says, you know, all these women are here for you because they're very sexually attracted to you. How do you feel? And first thing he did was basically flip the crowd off, but he did the under the chin flip off. And then his response was, less miserable.
Less miserable.
Best fucking retort of all time.
It's pretty strong.
I know everyone wants to fuck me, but I fucking hate me first.
Which just enhances the pitch, doesn't it?
Typo Negative is fantastic. It's creepy, sexy vampire music. And no, I don't mean Deftones.
If there were to be typo negative covered in the style of Deftones,
I would do that in a
or
second.
the other way around,
I would seek out how to do that.
What about
Terrordens
type
2.0?
A positive?
Yeah, dude. I would.
type A positive. So wait, typo negative covered in the style of who? Who would even
The
be-
Who.
The
Yeah.
Who's
The
who's
Who.
the guy who did the Toy Story song? You
Randy Newman. Yeah, Randy
Afraid
Newman.
of
I want you to
me.
do Typo Negative as Randy Newman right now.
I will not, but I will say that there is an absolute stupendously brilliant song that Randy Newman wrote for who was it? Was it the Everly Brothers?
I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be.
No, I have to fix this one. But there's a brilliant song that he wrote about Illinois, and it is a paean to this Midwestern state
Oh, I do know you're not.
that I do not always appreciate. However, when I listen to this song,
It's easy to not.
a paean,
Paean.
P-A-E-A-N, maybe spelling that wrong as well, but an homage that is full of joy and pleasure. So the opposite of typo negative, but Randy Newman wrote this, and yeah, it's worth your time.
All right.
Anyway,
Next beer?
Next beer and next album is us doing Randy Newman covering gothic hits.
you learn how to play the kazoo and deal.
Okay. All right, next fucking beer. I was only doing 2. Last time we did like 18, and then all of it got lost in the edit, so I'm trying to keep it simple.
Right.
So this is the second beer. Samu, tell us about this fucking beer.
Tis pungent.
It's actually just piss.
Quite. It will.
Diabetic
It's
piss.
guilty.
Yeah, the sugar
Whiskey.
content. I'm not interested in that.
It's Gilpin whiskey.
Gilpin
Gilpin
beer.
Made from piss.
I just scooped it out of a urinal trough in
This is
Wrigleyville.
definitely American, either IPA or APA.
How can you tell? Is it by the color?
That helps.
Is it by the haziness?
It is slightly urine colored. That's for sure. No, but it is.
urine beer.
It's fairly clear. It's a golden hue. Not as pale, perhaps, as the prior Helles had been, but it's mostly the aroma, which is indeed pungent.
What
and
about the aroma would say this is an IPA?
carries a lot of citrus, some tropical notes. Indeed, some of that pungent catty or slightly dank
Cattywampus?
catty whomp oos.
Wampus.
Candy whoop ass.
Womp the cat. Yeah. All of that.
Or does the cat womp pew?
The thou art womped by the catius pump? No, that's just too much. That's on the cutting floor.
This is only humor me and you enjoy.
Quite. And maybe 0.5 of your 40 followers.
Cattywomp moose.
Cat. Oh, now that's it. Hashtag moose. Got it. But also no, it's more fruity, which ales tend to be as compared to lagers. So no question, ale on this one, being a yeast that tends to function more at a higher fermentation temperature, it produces more of these esters which are present in fruits that we eat. So if you eat a banana and then drink a beer and say, oh, this banana tastes rather like this beer if you're an alcoholic, or if you say this beer tastes rather like my banana if you're not an alcoholic, or I don't know, por qué no los dos, as they say. Regardless, the point is that
fucking
esters
dork.
exist in both fruit and beer, and ester yeasts tend to present a lot more of these characteristics, which this beer does.
Hell yeah.
Some white grape, pineapple, again a bit catty, which is sort of the nice way of saying back to, sadly, urine. But that
to
dank
reality.
bit is kind of a note that comes out a lot of the classic sea hops from the Pacific Northwest. Sea hops being Chinook and
Chinook is a racist term.
Yep. Well, we'll dig into that next time. So sea hops, moving right along.
Cut that out. No,
I will taste the.
Chinook
I will,
is a
yeah.
style of hop. It tends to be on the more bitter spectrum.
Where's it from?
From Chinooka.
The Pacific Northwest is where it's mostly grown. Oh, that's quite pleasant. I like that.
Why you? Are you just saying that all the Pacific Northwest is racist?
No, I'm kidding.
There are a lot of things this could be, to be honest.
But what is it?
It's a profile that many people are trying to build, which is fairly dry. It doesn't taste that particularly strong. My guess is that this is no higher than 7%, unless they're deeply adept at masking ABV, in which case I'm also not interested, because I'd rather that be part of the profile.
That would be great. I wish I had enough creative opportunity to find a beer that would blow your mind like that.
A little bit of creaminess, too. So it doesn't feel like it's pure West Coast, because they tend to be a bit more firm in their bittering as opposed to the Midwest, giving us a little more. I know you're yawning. I can
I
see
feel like
it.
that's also shady. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long week, and as soon as
really
I'm done
bored.
here, I'm going back to work. So I'm just already. I already regular. So I had a question. I already lost it. You say that the West Coast tend to be more firm in their bitterness.
Aye.
And real brief, West Coast IPA was the dominant. And then there was the IBU wars, and then Hazy's picked up, and we had a bunch of nonsense confectionery fucking milkshake shit after that. But now, after a long break from the West Coast, and people really not seeking that, it seems to be slowly coming back. But I've also noted in the rise of new West Coast styles, and not just from West Coast breweries, just the West Coast style, there tends to be more tropical fruit notes than average, and more gentle creaminess, which kind of makes it hard to describe what these styles is.
No, that's true. That's a very good. That's an
Gentle
astute
creaminess.
observation. Gentle,
Thank you.
creamy notes. Yeah.
I'm not as stupid as all you guys think. I'm
At a certain
smarter
point,
than that.
back on
I
your way,
like a gentle creaminess.
beers from
very
Bear Republic and from Stone and from
Fuck
Alpine,
Stone.
Russian River.
Unless they want to sponsor the show.
Anyway, would focus a lot on bitterness. Bitterness was part of the war towards intensity and the notion of you're not worthy, and we are here to crush your palate.
Yeah.
And a lot of the hops that they were working with had very high alpha acids, meaning that they were very resonant and intense and did not offer a lot of nuance. Subsequently, there's been so much more science to understand how hops interplay with one another, not least from one hop to another, but also biotransformation within the structure of yeasts and all the rest of that. Regardless, the point is that since that time, from the 90s into the early aughts, so many new hops have come out that are both intensely aromatic and flavorful, but not as explicitly bitter. And even some of those hops that were very prominent during that early phase, such as Amarillo, for instance, have pivoted as time passes. It is ultimately an agricultural product. We frequently think about beer as just a commodity, but a hop is something that grows on a seasonal basis. And as time passes and temperatures are different, or the harvest is either good or poor or whatever it might be.
And regionally, it changes
Absolutely,
the profile
yes.
astronomically.
Cascade grown in Michigan is not the same as Cascade grown in...
There's a reason everyone's all fucking horned up for fucking New Zealand hops right now, because it
horns.
it stands in such... I was about to say stands in stark opposition. I don't think that's correct. It is so pronounced in its own, and it wasn't something we were adjusted to, and everyone went, holy fuck, I need that right
Until
now.
it showed up, that's right. And so much more tropical component going on there. as
Maple
opposed
Woods
to these
Rawaka.
residents.
Get into it.
Rawakan on Sunshine.
Yeah.
Tis a goodie. I've seen a lot of Nectaron
Rawaka
lately
Flocka.
too, which is
Waka
worthwhile.
Flocka Flame.
Regardless,
Good one, James.
This
Thank you.
bevy here, yeah, great call. Yeah, we're happy with that. Yeah, here's a little tinky toast. Good.
Thank you, Toast.
Yep.
So, all that to say, this one here,
And by somebody, I mean James.
I'm going to leave it in.
Please do. That was me cheersing my microphone, and that was ill-advised.
Plink.
yeah, don't do that.
Clonk.
I'm going to call this a west-ish coast. I don't think it fully tracks to me like an IPA. Maybe it's a little bit older. I don't know the date on this, but I would usually expect an IPA to have a bit firmer bitterness. My guess is that this is also not as strong as some IPAs might be. Again, could be wrong. Probably am wrong.
Could be wrong.
He's probably wrong. Have you ever met this guy? He's mostly wrong.
He's wrong
Typically-
50% of the time.
Typically wrong.
That's why this portion of the show is called Samu is always a fucking dumbass.
It's called Samu's always right.
Make the
And
worst
he's
decisions.
right.
Oh, is that what this is
50% of the
called?
time.
Oh, I bet.
I think I'd probably
Yeah.
clock it better if I poured some vodka and or Cholula into...
If
I
you,
mean, the next
if
time
you
we
can
do this, we're
nail
gonna-
it, I will pour in the rest of my drink. I will put that entire packet of Cholula and at least in a solid ounce of Zabravskis.
This is not impressive to me. I would do that
We'll
myself.
step it up then, pussy. What do you want?
I don't know what you have. We'll figure that out after this.
What have you
So,
got?
all right, I'm going to call this Westy Coast Pale Ale. I'm probably going to lean local, just given where things are at. And my think would
Weirdly,
land
we are local. Yes.
Lean local.
lean local.
Support.
Drink pee.
Drink your pisky.
That is it. Here we are, an hour and a half later. Cut this entire episode.
Yeah,
That's-
we'll restart.
There we go. All right,
I
we'll
was
restart.
afraid that first file didn't save to the camera.
That's right. That's right.
We had a little issue there for a second.
We never have issues on this show. We're sponsored by Jeff Bezos' mistress.
I think I would call this. There are three breweries that come to mind. One is Spiteful, who's been on the north side of Chicago making hop forward beers for
Hell yeah.
You gotta make one choice.
10 years ish, maybe even more than
I
that.
think more than that, actually.
Alley Time is one of their famed offerings in this, I think, category. Again, could be wrong. Maybe Hopewell. They've been around a spell, approximately 8 years. I don't know that they tend to go in this dank vein. My other think would be
The dang danky.
would
like the dank
be
vein.
Pipeworks, who are some of the absolute OGs in
Word
the
up to our
Chicago beer
boys at
scene
Pipeworks.
and have been
Really good
brewing
beer. I like their stuff.
very hop
great.
forward, fresh, clean styles like this since hardly anybody was.
So fresh and so clean.
So
Clean,
fresh and so
clean.
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 So wait, is this now an Atlanta beer?
It's called Outcast.
Surprise.
Surprise. I don't think this is Sweetwater. Also, there's some bias. I don't think you would have bought a Sweetwater beer.
No, it's beer.
Fucking kidding me? Of course I will.
I don't know what beer it is explicitly, but
Then you lose.
out of respect, I'm going to call it
You're a
Pipeworks.
loser.
Pipeworks what?
Take a guess.
The beer that would
We're gonna put some time on the clock here. Because we need,
Need answers.
Yeah. Pipeworks. What?
It doesn't taste like Ninja. That would be a bit formidable. But if it is Ninja, then I just probably need to recalibrate my palate to understand ABV. The obvious play other than that would be Lizard.
Just take a guess.
Lizard.
Stab in the dark.
Lizard King.
All right,
here
now
we
you
go.
gotta give us 10 seconds introduction on one of the songs. Choose one I was singing on.
Another song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's how we're hyping the fucking album.
No,
I need to see. We need the people to buy this merch we just spent all this money on.
Side A. Back to Side A.
Yeah, go ahead, Saturday.
Back to Side A. Okay, good.
Showcase some Trevor.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can showcase some
Everyone's
Trevor.
trying to hear my shit on this fucking
That
show.
seems proper. Trevor. So nobody knows. We haven't spoken about who Trevor is at this point, have we?
Who's Trevor?
I've been
Trevor?
mentioning a little bit. Who is Trevor? Who is the Trev man? The
Who-
Trev Brev. Brev.
Trev
Brev. Brev Trev. Yep.
All that. That's who Trevor is. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer that question, or
This isn't a John Ask Himself question show. It's John asks questions to a fucking guest, ain't it?
He does talk a lot.
I never shut the fuck up.
well, we'll just sort of jump into some
All right,
sort of
we're gonna
random
play. What is this?
nonsense.
Terrordens 3, where Trevor takes a little bit more lead.
Reveal. What is it? What's the beer? Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Pipeworks,
There it
word
is.
up to you
Nice.
boys. Lizard King, Mosaic
King.
Happed Pale Ale.
King of tasting beers, Samu Rahn.
Kudos to you,
Good job.
the Pipeworks folks. Still doing good work
Good
after all
dudes,
these years.
love those cats.
Um,
What's the name of Sean's band?
Sean's band.
We're Pipeworks.
Oh, Ready for Death.
Ready for Death.
Absolutely,
There it is. Yeah,
yes.
Fucking fantastic.
So good.
He's drums, right? Am I remembering?
He
correctly?
he murders the drums.
He murders the
He
drums.
deads the drums. He makes them ready for death.
If you have a drum kit and you haven't murdered it, you ain't really fucking playing. We don't want to talk to you, right?
Correct.
Yes, drink that shit. Zabrovka.
And also,
good too.
Ricky's just a wonderful, fine person. Here,
Ricky
James.
is a beautiful, delicate,
I didn't
wonderful.
agree to this.
I didn't agree to this podcast.
Technically, you did, but
I'll play along.
we were at Half Acre and you said, "Fine, fuck it." That's an agreement in this company.
That sort of makes sense.
That's
yeah.
how I've
It's true.
gotten involved in bands,
Yeah.
podcasts.
All sorts of
I
nonsense.
You
say,
got it
"Fine,
right.
Fuck it, and then I keep doing it.
So, right, what doom now lies upon you?
Usually I just torture John with these
Whatever,
games.
whatever
So,
dumb plan someone has for me next time, where they're like, "You seem like you wouldn't be good at this.
you've got mail.
You should do it."
That's so much fun.
So, for the listeners, because I keep forgetting that we're currently listening to this,
That's good.
Samu, shut the fuck up.
Well, we also, if it
Shut
is Pipeworks, we
the
have to
fuck
respect BJ and Garrett as well
Oh,
as founders and originators of one of the most
works.
important breweries, literally in the country.
Yeah.
Truly.
I don't think Chicago has enough understanding and respect for their distribution.
And it's massive.
They're
The creativity, the fearlessness,
Mm-hmm.
the grit that they have brought to the category since day one, which
Oh, yeah.
is
Hard
before, probably before some people who are drinking beer were technically alive.
Yeah.
Because we know that there are people drinking beer who are, what, 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
And BJ and Garrett were doing this in, I'm assuming, a garage. A long while hence. Regardless, here's to the Lizard King. And now we're deeply sorry to adulterate your mighty work
Don't adulterate.
Pipeworks is
with
fantastic.
Cholula and vodka.
Pipeworks, you should try out a new beer. It's going to taste like the last of a Lizard King can, a Cholula packet that was weirdly on the table, and Zabrovka buffalo grass vodka that tastes confectionery. So we're all about to try this now because this is the prize for Samu winning. James?
This is the prize
Wait,
for
we just
you
switched?
losing.
You
What?
took my mug, so I had to.
I don't know what's going on, man.
So good.
This is the
This
prize
is
for-
we lost. Samu won.
It's always
So
a
we
win
gotta-
when Samu's
yeah.
on the show because it's the only time people watch this show. So cheers, fuckers.
It actually smells
Ugh.
great.
So, all right, that's break time.
Yikes.
That's
Man,
another
that is
break
a
for us.
whole lot.
And we'll be back in just a bit.
Fuck you.
Again. But now we're back.
Welcome
Hi.
back to Hair of the
Welcome
Dog.
back to Hair of
I
the
have been
Dog.
saying such inflammatory things about how Republicans like to look at children's genitalia, and now you're not going to get to hear any of it.
Yeah.
Because James can't do his fucking job.
Because the
Well, now
recorder
we're back.
decided to
The recorder
protect you.
didn't
The
wanna do it.
recorder
154.
doesn't understand how I don't want protection. I want
154.
violence.
He wants violence. I want violence.
Stop looking at kids' genitalia, you fucking jackass.
But anyway, we have a segment on the show called This Week in White People, or This Week in Whiteness.
This Week in White,
so
folks.
excited
So
about.
here we go. And I'm
While
gonna play
we're
this
drinking
video for you.
Pipeworks Lizard King.
There we go.
All right, so some white bitch
She's
is
got hot coffee.
hot coffee pouring into a bowl of snow.
But look at the dog tail flap in the
Yeah,
background.
that's really the best part of
That's
it.
that's what I'm here for.
I was saying before James so rudely interrupted me with not recording my beautiful dulcet
Son of a
tones
bitch.
that there's lots of pollutants in snow. It is known that if you're going to consume snow for water, you're supposed to boil it first.
Yeah, not just melt it, but you gotta
Yeah.
boil it because
I don't
there's a lot of
think
shit
this
in snow.
honky is gonna
I'd
boil it.
rather not. I prefer
Yeah.
my biodome to be compromised.
Oh, you're a Pauly Shore fan, eh?
It creates complexity. That looks like a yam, I would argue.
It does look yummy.
So we have iced coffee that exists.
You are
You
correct.
can go to
Right, now
Starbucks
she's
and
adding
get iced
cream.
coffee. If you want, you can get the ice in the coffee. You can blend it up, and you have something similar to this.
Is she just trying to turn hot coffee into iced coffee with
This-
snow?
Well, just
with
she
one-
does like
way
a
too
snow
many
latte.
steps?
It turns into mud pretty soon.
Ice cream right now.
It starts to look like
This
biscuits
woman
and
is
gravy, in
married to
fact,
someone.
whose name is Chase.
Oh, guaranteed. Tanner.
Tanner.
Chase our Tanner
Ooh,
is
no, just
married to this woman.
Raw dog and some sugar in there.
Tyler with an eye.
No, it's not.
Actually,
you
no.
fucking bitch.
I'm not adverse to this situation.
Like, it's not the most foul thing that we've witnessed white people do in history.
Where is this happening? I'm wagering upper Michigan.
It's on
Ontario.
Food TV. Oh, she's.
Oh wait, no,
there we
things have
go.
changed. We have
Oh,
entered a
Hershey's syrup.
deep,
She's doing
dark,
a little
desperate zone.
Hershey's caramel drizzle on the inside of a mason jar. No, that's not a mason jar. That's just
It's like a candy jar. or
candy
something, yeah.
jar.
I feel trapped. I prefer to leave.
Yeah,
Samu wants to
this
leave.
segment is painful.
This is not helping.
Now she has a glass water bottle. What kind of white ass wonky shit is that? Who just
Oh, don't, you're gonna melt it. You're gonna melt it. You just destroyed what you're trying to do.
Your pore fluid is still.
just drink the
off.
fucking coffee?
Jesus.
No,
No.
it fucking doesn't. It looks like fucking shit and piss in a bowl.
But
It
it is
looks
on
like
food
mud.
TV.
Oh.
Now she. Oh gosh, she's just spilling it
That
everywhere.
looks terrible.
Oh wait,
Now you're
this
gonna
is-
make ice cubes with snow. I hate this.
oh, eggs, ice eggs.
Ice eggs. Yeah,
This
okay,
can't go
now I'm
wrong.
back. Yeah, so she's added just a bunch
That's
of
not-
sugar
that didn't
and
happen
like
cream,
that. That didn't happen like
snow,
that.
Coffee.
That's bullshit.
and
Doggo
there's
in the
no way
background.
that happened
There's
like
no
that.
way it happened
As
like
a
that.
bartender who used to work at a cocktailing joint,
No.
making ice cubes look that decent in those things is fucking difficult.
Yeah.
And so she just fucking cut around that. Also, she didn't drink it.
Yep.
Where
She
is-
just
Of course
made
she-
a
of course she didn't
poison
drink it.
a latte made of fucking carbon emissions.
Very important question.
I don't have many of those.
You showed us all of that, and we didn't get to see more of the dog. Is that what you just did to us?
Can you just put on a video of a golden retriever doing anything, please?
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
I'm gravely dismayed.
No.
Yeah. I feel
We need-
taken advantage of.
There's-
frankly.
That should be
There's
the
puppy
new
TV.
the new segment. Is first there's This Week in Whiteness, and then it's look at puppies.
Or, in respect to Pipeworks, just show us lizards.
We can do that.
I did, in
I am
fact,
Lizard King.
recently decide that if I were to have a pet, perhaps two,
Iguana.
an iguana and then a gecko, maybe a lizard,
Get it.
the names that I most preferred would be petrichor,
Yes.
which is sort of the smell of rain, and then regolith,
Dead.
which is moon dust.
Oh.
And through their powers combined, I'm fairly sure that I could
We are
execute a
Captain
coup
Planet.
over Romania. And with
Romania, we're gonna come to
We're
you.
coming-
We're
we're
gonna
coming
do. We can't afford to do a U.S. tour because no one watches here. But we are planning currently
you've
a
heard the
Romanian
show.
tour. We're gonna go to everyone's favorite place in Romania. And
Oh, I love that
and
place.
Then we're
That's great.
also on the third day of the trip we're gonna, and then on the fourth day we're also gonna be at
No, we
Because
can't
I
go
know
there anymore.
every major city in Romania.
Wait for the gram. It'll give you all.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
names you
go to
want.
the Gram.
Romania.
Talk to my grandma. She'll tell you where the door is.
Roshaflafaf.
She hosts the intermissions, and she's also my cocaine dealer.
And she's also Romanian.
Graham, I love you, and I love snorting your grams.
That's why he called her Graham. Anyway, last segment of the show, we got two metal guys here. So
Whoa.
Since it is a Women's International Women's Day that just happened
Hit me with
recently,
Zabrovka.
I would like you to.
I don't see women.
He doesn't see color either. So I'd like you guys to name at least 3 female-fronted bands.
3 women in general? Can't do it. Never heard of them.
Metal bands that are female-fronted. Name 3.
Oh, God, I'm bad at names in general. This is not because I dislike women.
Well,
So for lead.
What is that fucking band? Blackwater Holy Light? Yeah, that's the name of the band. Blackwater Holy Light. It's
Phenomenal.
black metal, fucking great.
That's
Oh,
one.
it's not even just women fronted. It's all fucking women, and they fucking
Well,
rip.
that works.
Let's do a
That's
shot
one.
to Blackwater and women ripping guitars and kits and vocals and the whole
If
thing.
you
James,
pour
we
me
should-
a shot, if you pour me one, I
God
can
damn
drink
it,
one.
James. What's this amateur hour? You can't get your recorders
You
going?
poured one for you and Samu,
I
and didn't
poured
pour me
nothing.
anything.
Samu
it was.
poured.
It would.
And
It
you're
would
like,
have. It would
let's
have.
do shots.
It would have
Yeah.
compromised
Samu poured
the
this.
moment.
James is
working on
over
that.
here
There we-
belly
there we
aching
go.
like a
That's
woman.
good. That's good.
As well.
Well, we're trying to talk about how great women are.
International Women's.
We'll edit that out.
So,
Cheers.
Slanche.
Slant.
Santé, kippis, kanpai, skål.
Kung
Nostrovia.
Pao. 2 women.
Blackwater Holy Light, great call.
One.
I would argue, however, at the same time, that it's not necessarily just female-fronted metal bands, but also those who support the other elements of that equation. And shout out to Joe Bench, the bassist of Bolt Thrower,
Oh, yeah.
who is an
yeah.
absolute weapon and should be
Talk about
militarized.
women, all right?
Extraordinarily brilliant, and that band deserves every kudos that we can possibly give them.
Bolt Thrower is brutal, but like
Ugh.
in such a strangely calculated way.
It's
They're not-
purposeful.
they're
Here's
not
one
hurting
riff.
you
Here's one riff.
coming at
You're going
you.
to listen to this
Yeah,
riff.
yeah.
There
We're
are
gonna beat this riff to fucking death.
correct. There are
gonna
no
thunder
phrases.
this fuck.
It is a single phrase, and you will accept it, or you'll be ground under the machine of
Yep.
war, and you will perish and die.
And then we have another one next.
2. Number 2.
So 2.
What do
We
you
have
got?
Bolt Thrower, Blackwater.
And then also, I would also highlight Iriel, who is involved with Peccatum,
Yeah.
and also Star of Ash. She has occasionally been associated with Isan, a Norwegian artist, mostly known
like
for
Nissan, but
Emperor.
it's metal, man.
But
were
Star of
great
Ash,
in
as
concert
her
this
own
last
project, is just utterly fascinating and enthralling, and their collaborations within Peccatum are worth a lot of
Bikini
good
Bottom.
time. Beyond that, Jax Thoth is in the sludgy world.
Is that
Very
female?
sledge.
It is absolutely yes, and
Also, we should also not say they just have to be female fronted because it just doesn't mean that they have to be the front of the band. They could be
No,
the
that's
best
what I
element
said.
of the band.
he did say
I
fronted.
said
That's
that.
true.
I
He
don't
did
listen to
That's what I
anybody's
said.
rules
Yeah.
because I also want to bring up
No,
Electric
it's not.
Wizard.
Let's make it something else.
I want to bring up the Electric
very
Wizard because
good.
she's not the front of the band, but she's the sound of Electric Wizard.
So-
she is the bassist of Electric Wizard.
Wizard.
She has such a
Wizard
brilliant
of Oz.
wide bass bitch stance.
Yeah.
She fucking hammered, but like, she's not doing the vocals,
Here's another.
but she makes the sound of that.
Thor's
band.
hammer.
Thor. Yes.
We should actually. Here's an idea. Maybe we phrase it just yonder way in little space. No, that's off camera.
James,
Here.
stop putting
little
women
space.
in a box. all right?
I didn't put anybody in a box.
They have
Make
to
a
be in the
playlist.
front or they don't matter to you. I see how you are.
Make a playlist. This is a. I love the question. Truly, I do love
Yeah.
the question. It has gotten better for women
I got
in
some
metal.
more if you want me to.
Shoot,
Dude,
yeah,
hit
all
us,
for it.
bitch.
But let's make a playlist, and we'll throw some ideas to with this.
Convent with a K. Crypta. Castrator, which is funny. Yeah. Warlock.
I thought you had questions and you started pulling out bands.
No, there's some names here.
No, I was
Yeah.
going to add some more to the list.
Oh,
yeah.
Coven.
Convent.
Yeah,
Yes.
Convent and Nervosa.
I don't
know any of
those
these.
That's right. Because
But if
you
we're starting
hate
with the-
women.
I know Convent. I don't
Cuss
know
sound.
Crypta Castrator. It sounds like something I should listen to.
Probably.
yeah, these are all
Warlock. How are you not listening to
I-
Warlock?
I-
you
I-
are a
I'm-
literal
you are a
warlock.
warlock.
bereft of knowledge. That's true. Well, maybe it's
Yeah.
a different school.
If
of-
you ever run into a man named Odd
of
Hobbit on the in the forest somewhere, you
Come
run.
to me.
All right, so that's all we got for the show. We got to wrap it up now.
Wrap.
Say goodbye, Samu. Say goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
Ha det bra.
All right.
Yeah.
Later. Bye.